Open your message.
He sent it your way.
Today, we're putting a bunch of TikTok food trends in front of a chef and a normal home cook to see what they make of them, and when they test them, if they think they're any good.
Okay, straight away. Whoa!
Fried eggs.
Into a cup.
Mustard. Pull through mayo with egg.
With cooked fried egg.
Better if you're pregnant or otherwise vulnerable to the potentials of raw egg. Yep.
You're familiar?
I've never seen it done with a fried egg, I'll be honest, but you're just adding more fat, which is in a mayonnaise. I have seen it done with a boiled egg, and it's a good way of, yeah, exactly that, making mayonnaise safer for those who might be more at risk of raw yolk.
Yeah, this is the trend of fried egg mayonnaise. And actually, the trend hasn't come from safety concerns, it's come from a flavour perspective of adding more flavour into the mayonnaise because you've got the Maillard reaction.
Crispy bits.
Crispy bits. You're adding a little bit more levels, but I think the safety route is also a really good one.
I don't think fried eggs taste of much. And yet, you can buy fried egg flavoured crisps.
And they do taste of fried eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a specific thing. I'm interested to try this.
So we fried you some eggs, nice and crispy on the bottom. We've given you some mustard, and we've given you some extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
Give it a flick. Show the camera how crispy it is.
But yeah, this is the important bit, isn't it?
I think
That's the flavour.
bit.
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing that we've seen from a few of the videos is A, they're using more eggs than we normally would.
Yeah.
And B, they're using extra virgin olive oil as opposed to a less flavoured oil. What I actually think they're creating is not a mayonnaise, it's an emulsion. But it's easier to call it a mayonnaise, but realistically, it's a sauce.
And a lot of flavour, because you're right, a little dollop of mustard we saw in the video. To make it wholly with extra virgin olive oil, it becomes a mayonnaise you wouldn't want to use heavily. It would be incredibly bitter and powerful and fruitful and very expensive.
So the creator, Danny Martin, says that it's even better if the fried eggs are lacy. Does that word mean anything to you, Ebbers?
As in the effect on the bottom of the egg?
I think, yeah, like, you know when you spread it out really thin and it goes crispier around the edge because of the surface area. So I'm now confused because I'd say that's almost enough oil for one egg.
Yes, that's enough.
But you're going to need 3 times that for that many eggs.
They're not using as much oil as we are used to.
Well, should we try that and see where it goes? It's very eggy, but maybe that's the point.
Give it a go.
I
You've
like
got
eggs.
some salt and pepper if you want to add that in at this point.
That's awful. Doesn't look good, Jamie. You said this video didn't involve science.
Now, a couple of thoughts. Whenever you do a pull through mayonnaise, you use whole egg rather than egg yolk. Just egg yolk, which you'd use for the classic mayonnaise. The reason being you want the water content from the egg white. Once you've cooked it, you've driven off all that water content. So you've just got the protein of egg white, which as a protein that's cooked is now doing this. Now you've blended all the cooked egg protein, go for another pull through from the bottom up.
Still splitty. We're not going to get that back, I don't think.
Lots of comments saying it sounds interesting. We looked at a few other creators as well who have done this. They're basically reviewing that video and then making their own version. People have got it to work.
It obviously works because this person's made it work. But the problem with TikTok trends is short form, 20 seconds, you've got 0 detail and 0 discussion. You've actually got no idea if they've ended up cheating it because it didn't work and then they've done something else or whatever. Like, you've got no clarification. Without the water content of the egg white, which is required for the pull-through method, or without the gentle trickle of oil into egg yolk done by hand where you don't need the egg white, the emulsification is tough.
No way. Not a chance. You save that. Is it working? I don't... Having seen it like that though, I don't want to eat it's working.
It's just normals. Why do you normals have such difficulty with pull-through mayonnaise? Why do you normals have such difficulty with pull-through mayonnaise?
And you try to blame it on me, Barry Taylor.
I just presumed the recipe's fault. I'd forgotten that it was because a normal was using the stick blender.
For Christ's sake!
Perfect.
Turns
fine.
out a splash of water
TikTok
shuts us up.
food trends are the one. Copy them.
But we do know, and what I explained about the difference between a fried egg and a raw egg, as soon as we apply that logic, it turns out not a problem. Pass some spoons, Baz, let's taste it.
Ebbers used science to win the day. Now, I held a straight face throughout that, but that did make me very nervous for the next 3 TikTok food trends that are coming up.
This is a safe one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's so strong in olive oil. It's delicious. For me, that could take a squeeze of lemon juice or even a splash of vinegar just to bring it back and to help season it. But it's good olive oil based mayonnaise.
It looks and feels more like a shop-bought bleached mayonnaise.
Okay.
In that it's whiter and it has the viscosity because of the, I guess, the cooked proteins in it.
I think if you'd used a more subtle oil, you might get more fried egg flavour. With that, that's a delicious olive oil based mayonnaise that's big on olive. I would say though, it's a good way of upscaling food waste, like a rubbery fried egg that's been left out and gone cold, or a boiled egg that's not been used. But other than that opportunity, I'd say you're better off just using raw egg and making mayo. I don't think it adds much.
Well, boys, fried egg mayonnaise with a splash of water. Are you going to follow fast or just scroll past?
Perhaps a little bit safer if you use a fully boiled egg and yolk, but otherwise just make it the OG way.
It caught my attention. I lingered, and then I scrolled past.
Lovely. Well, let's see how we get on with number 2. TikTok trend number 2, Ebbers, work out how to unlock your phone.
I was a teenager. I loved getting onion rings at my dad's diner. Now that I'm slightly older, I make these low-carb, 2-ingredient crispy onion ring chips instead. All you need to do is spread out some shredded Parmesan, layer your sliced onion rings, lightly brush with olive oil and seasonings, bake until golden and crunchy. Now love your life.
Ah,
This I'm
yeah,
on board with.
I get that.
So these are French onion chips. Now, this video's had over 20 million views across TikTok and Instagram, and I think the beauty is in its simplicity because at the base of it, it needs just 2 ingredients, cheese and onions. Plus you can add some spices and stuff like that if you want to, but that is the base of the dish. So the creator, Stella, she's a dietitian, and she actually says that these kind of recipes are perfect for people who are working to learn how to eat vegetables.
There's no denying we all need to eat more veg. There are healthier ways of eating veg, for sure. But I like the way that this is the gateway of just getting you involved in snacks. Let's try it. Hard Italian cheese like this, already kind of seasoned, it's salty, it's delicious, it's got the umami. It's also really high in protein, like 30% protein, and lower in carb. Interesting, the tag is sort of low carb because it's not a fried potato, but especially when onions cook down, there's so much sugar that turns into caramelization and carb that it exists.
So Stella says that she got into recipe development when she was working in her father's diner at the age of 14, and that's where her journey started.
At a young age, what I do like about snacks like this, like I do toasted, seasoned nuts or seeds, is they're not necessarily low calorific, but they are scratch cooking. They are delicious because you can personalize them with the seasonings, and they are relatively low process. They're not the same as a lot of the other snacks you can buy to fill your mid-morning munchies or your afternoon snacks.
Do you want some seasonings?
Yeah, just go rogue.
So we've gone smoked paprika, dried oregano, pinch of salt, cheese and onion. What temperature, Jake? Because the video doesn't do that either.
We're going into an oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 18 minutes. There's your finished French onion chips, boys.
I don't see it as a snack. I see it as a different type of topping to a dish. Weirdly, add one more ingredient, pastry on the bottom of that,
Yeah.
or egg as a quiche on the bottom of that.
Or like, I think topping, like you said, I think actually crumbled, like these crumbled over a nice pasta dish or a risotto, giving you texture and added flavour is a lovely idea.
There's a little fried egg mayonnaise for you. Now, obviously, the versatility of these French onion chips is what I really like about them because, yes, onions and cheese, standard, but add your own seasonings. People are adding pepperoni, turning it into kind of a pizza style of flavour toppings. You can go in a number of different directions. Don't roll your eyes.
What?
Cheers.
You know what?
There we are.
If Walker's hadn't done it first with cheese and onion crisps, I'd say it's inventive, but it's just a cheese and onion crisp.
No, that's...
I really like it. The flavour, the smoked paprika we put on there is a little bit hot.
Yeah.
The herbiness is good. The umami you get from the cheese, the sweetness you get from the caramelised onion. It's easy to make whole trays of it pretty quick.
For me, this encapsulates TikTok food trends that actually work. 2 ingredients plus whatever else you have. Great. Simple. Actually, I would say quite difficult to screw up.
And I think there are so many snacks that we go to in our cupboards and dry stores and pantries that, so I quite like the fact they're personalisable and they're damn tasty and quick and easy, and I think people will go, great.
Well, French onion chips, are we going to be following fast or just scrolling past?
Yeah, I'm following fast, I like that.
Ready for another?
Perfect, yes.
Barry, seeing as you loved onions so much in the last one, open up your messages.
Is that a spring onion
Yeah, I have seen this.
coffee?
Yeah.
Scallions, spring
So you
onion.
muddle spring onions, green onions, milk, coffee over ice.
Add on
And a
top.
garnish. That's a lot of garnish. I'm trying to get my head around this. What is allium adding to the coffee notes?
The addition of green onions, spring onions, salad onions, scallions, whatever you call them, into coffee has been blowing up on social media with spring onion lattes, spring onion dalgona coffee, and everything in between. It originated in China and soon made it to TikTok. Hai An Liao Li, which means dark cuisine, is a style of Chinese cuisine based around unusual combinations of food. The term came from a 90s manga show which sees a 19th century chef fighting the dark cooking society. So supposedly the spring onions are going to balance the bitter taste of the coffee whilst adding texture to the drink.
Texture for sure, raw onion with milk. Interesting, the comments range from why to not interested in this, absolutely not, instant block, this should be illegal, what in the hell, bro, what's wrong with you? I haven't found a positive comment yet. What a waste of coffee. So the comments aren't on board, but we're here to put it to the test, and currently I am.
Right, so we're giving you some ice, some spring onions, some sugar syrup, some coffee, and some milk.
Onions first, we'll muddle those.
Muddle those. There's one thing I do, which I think I can relate to this drink, which is, at the weekend, one of my favourite things to do is mow the lawn.
Mine too.
Such a
I know.
Mine too.
And to celebrate how well my lines look, I sometimes make myself an espresso, stand, and just look over the glory.
But you're smelling the cut
I'm
grass.
smelling coffee, there's cut grass in the air. It's reminding me of that.
I kind of get cut vegetation and if those kind of almost matcha vibes, but this is going to give us allium.
Yeah.
Leek, garlic, onion, spring onion. I'm still confused by it. Right, ice next. Milk, a little bit of sugar syrup. The greenest bits of the green onion. They weren't quite generous on the top, didn't they?
Yeah, go nuts.
It does look like it's out there to rile chefs as opposed to be good. But it's a thing, right? Is it being served in cafes or is it just Instagram, TikTok, short form content going viral?
People are using it in dalgona coffee as well. So that whipped,
Yeah.
the whipped
Very
coffee trend that we did
sweet.
a few years ago.
Should we give this a go?
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
You do this just to wind me up. I can hear what's going on in your mouth and I don't want to be a part of it. No. No.
There's something. There's got to be. There's something there.
When I think about tasting notes of coffee, you're looking for fruit and nut and marzipan and chocolate and maybe some spice. You don't want raw onion flavour.
I think Baz is onto something.
No, he's not.
He
if
is.
you get enough of the coffee and the milk to mask the spring onion.
He's onto it.
I don't like sweet coffee, and what the spring onion does, it distracts you from the potential bitterness of the coffee. But I like the bitterness of coffee. It's
A waste of everyone's time. Waste of good milk, good coffee, and good spring onions. Each could be used beautifully in their own separate way.
It's a whole new experience that isn't wholly unpleasant. I don't like how it gets stuck in your teeth.
I don't like the
not
fact that I've
great.
still got onion breath, which is not what I want in a morning coffee.
Have you tried spring onion coffee before?
Don't.
Let us know. Boys, spring onion coffee. Is this a trend you're going to be following fast or are you just going to scroll past?
Scrolling right past.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Well, I've got one I think you are going to like.
Fab.
Last up, boys. I think you're going to like this one.
Please, please, please. Oh, what? Oh,
Oh, Jamie!
That really hurt.
You do this just to wind us up. It's like a hot chocolate s'more in a croissant-esque. They're saying croissant, but it's not crescent shaped, so it's not a croissant. It's a laminated dough wheel.
Wicked, stupid, love it, hate it, get it in my face.
Boys, this is the hot chocolate croissant. You can now drink your hot chocolate through a straw from inside a buttery, flaky croissant. This creation is not only filled with rich hot chocolate, but also topped with blowtorched Italian meringue.
Wonderful.
This one is from a restaurant called La Serre in Dubai, but we have seen it popping up in a few places.
There are lots of examples where pastry is used as a vessel for a drink, and I don't understand any of them.
Surely the structural integrity of a croissant with its many layers is not conducive to filling it with liquid.
Let's see what happens. Boys, let me tell you, Kush has absolutely gone to town for you. He has baked these croissants. He made the croissant dough. He then baked them in a cylinder cutter, weighed down so that they wouldn't expand out. He had to do it a couple of times because, first of all, they did like my trousers do. He's also created you a beautiful hot chocolate made out of some chocolate truffles, some dark chocolate that we had. So this is going to be spectacular if it works.
I mean, you can see the layers and layers and layers of spiral buttered laminated dough that's gone into this, and it's a wonderful even colour. But because of its need for structural integrity,
Solid.
it becomes something you don't associate with a light laminated dough. It's very crispy because it has to be to hold the filling. We'll see if it does.
Are you ready to work quick? Okay.
Do this one, and then I'll pie it, and then you toast.
Don't leak, don't leak, don't leak.
Gentle toasting, and then a straw. Now, served like that, you do the chocolate, you drink the chocolate, then you munch the pastry.
Yeah.
You're not biting into this thing.
So realistically, once you finish drinking the hot chocolate through the straw, are you not left with a pain au chocolat?
Right, imagine this has now been here about a minute, which is good. That's the time it takes you to take it to the table from the kitchen.
Yep.
It has still held up.
Yes,
There's so little chocolate to pastry ratio that it's cold now.
I'm okay with that.
But cheers.
Cheers.
I actually think, and this breaks all the rules, I just want it to be served with a spoon. Because the straw is an odd hot chocolate experience.
Oh, stuff
Follow fast.
Yeah.
That's sensational.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If it's a good chocolate sauce,
Yep. That's amazing.
which this is, it's a crisp dough. You do lose the beauty of laminated dough, and it becomes something different, but it's quite fun.
It's a different dough, but with that in mind, we're not a million miles away from a chocolate-filled donut. And especially when you see donuts, now Bread Ahead do them where they are standing on their side, chocolate filling, and then they have icing on top or meringue on top.
Yeah.
It's a floured casing, but a fried donut and a baked laminated dough are quite different. This is so rich.
For me, it's all down to that hot chocolate. That is a divine hot chocolate.
The flavours and the ingredients are exceptional. The photo makes you go, wow. I'm not sure it's any better than just doing that, Baz, dipping your pastry in hot chocolate.
No, true.
And that is why we ask a chef and a normal home cook for their opinion. Boys, are you following fast or just scrolling past on the hot chocolate croissant?
I've followed already.
It did what it wanted to do. I think it was fun and playful. I'll follow, but not that quickly.
Well, over to you in the comments. Let us know which of those trends will you be following fast and what trends should we be testing next. Plus, if you liked the video, give it a like.